Well, hello, I'm Judy Young, and I'm a sister for Christ, and this is my friend Peggy Cable with Nehemiah Faith Ministries. And I have a fundraiser out there right now trying to raise money for this ministry over in Uganda. And so I thought it would be great if you meet Peggy personally here, and we ask her a few questions so you can understand what she's doing there. Peggy, what areas of Africa have you worked in?
I work mostly in Uganda and Kenya. I've been in Rwanda, but mostly Uganda, Kenya.
And you've been there, what, 10 plus years?
10 years.
10 years,
Yep.
okay. And in Kenya, I know that you helped build a school and a church there
Yes.
for them. And I think when she talks about building schools, you have to understand that these schools are not built like we have schools. They're built with mud and done, which is feces, and that's how they build their buildings. But at least they have a building to go to learn. I know that you've been in Uganda in a village there for the last few years. Will you tell us about those villages? Tell us about the people. Tell us about the conditions and the ministries that you like to do there.
The villages, I work deep villages. And it's an African culture. So you have polygamy and you have witchcraft. They're common. That's African. And so the witchcraft, they still have child sacrifices. You have the witch doctors. You have polygamy. So you have one African man. He has many women. And those women each have child every year, nearly. They're raped. And the children are also abused. Yes, they are.
And the children, because they have so many children, they end up going hungry because
Yes.
there's not enough food to feed them.
They're hungry, they're sick, and they're starving, and they don't get an education. And these mamas, they're single. They can be 12, 13, 14 years old when they start having these babies. So you've got these young mamas with no help and a baby every year. And I met one of these mamas, and she told me that she held baby after baby and watched them die. They starved to death. They're sick. And then one day she decided, I'm going to poison my babies, and then I'm going to poison myself so I don't leave them. And I know we can't understand that, but we don't live that life.
Yeah, I think that's the key words right there. We don't live that life, so we don't understand that there are people living. These people have no water, they have no electricity, they have no bathrooms. Peggy works to build boreholes. These boreholes are wells that give them fresh water, and they have to draw it just like we did from the well years ago from a bucket. And these wells alone cost $500 to $700, and that's with them hiring people there to work to build them, the people there. So there's things like that cost money to do it. Not only that, Peggy's flight there and back, her flights are $1,200 to $1,500. You're having to get COVID tests every time you come and go. Peggy works there 10 months out of the year, and that's a lot of time she spends in these. She lives that. Tell us about where you like to go to find the people.
Let me tell you, my heart is for the guy, the girl, the man, the woman that is not going to come into a church. They're not going to for whatever reason. And we need to go to them in the refugee camp, on the street, in the slum, in the ghetto. They're high on bangi, pot, they're drinking, they're done, they're broken, they're dirty.
There's a lot of disease there, right?
Oh, there's malaria, typhoid is common. I've had both. And then AIDS is very common. And I want to go to the people that are broken, they're done. And we do two things. I want to tell them about Jesus. Jesus Christ is God's Son. He's the only way to heaven. But we need to show them Jesus. If we can get food, if we can feed them, school fees, medical supplies, build the home, build the hut. And so that's what we do. It's all about Jesus. It's about Jesus.
And show love. Give them love and hugs, because that will break them.
You want tears from a prostitute? You sit down beside her in the dirt. You give her the hug. I can do it. It's a granny hug. Nothing bad about it. I can give her the granny hug, and I can say, girl, you're beautiful inside and out. I care. But Jesus cares. Jesus cares. And tears will run down her face.
I know, Peggy, you also like to do the prisons. That's your love, is to go to the
I
prison.
love prison ministry. I love prison ministry. Let me tell you something. There's no arrogance in prison. You're in prison. And prisons there, I go to the deep, deep village prisons. I don't work town. I go where other people do not go, will not go. And those people in prison, let me tell you, they know I'm coming. I have to get government documents saying that I'm allowed in. Okay? There's a procedure. I go in, they know I'm coming, and God is already there working. I take a local pastor, local singer, dancer, they know the language, and we can start singing, doing the African dance, worship, and those people are already on their knees praying.
So what Peggy's doing is so beneficial to what the Bible tells us to do. We need to go out and find the lost. We need to save as many as we can. We're supposed to go all over the world. You know, the disciples are gone that Jesus had walking with him, but there's disciples like Peggy, and they're far in between. So if we aren't able to go, I would love to go if I was able. We can help with prayer. Pray for what she's doing. Those prayers are so important, and she lives by this. Please pray. That's so important. But if you're able to give, I don't care if it's $5, if it's $10. There's a lot of work to be done in other countries. And I want to close with saying this. Thank you, Peggy, for what you do. You have this calling from the Lord. But second is, people say, why would you go to another country? Why would you go to another country when we need help here? Those people have no way of hearing about Jesus. What did Jesus tell us to do? We're to help the hungry, the poor, the broken. That's where you go, and that's where they are. Yes, we have them here, but we have homeless centers. We have people, TV, internet. Jesus is everywhere in America. People can hear about Jesus. They don't hear about Jesus. Help Peggy if you can. Help us to get this ministry going, because we love the Lord, and the Lord loves you, but he also loves those people in Africa.
Amen.
Amen, and God bless.
Amen.